The nostalgia, the magic, the memories, the madness, the hashtag always MGM in full effect.
Oh, what are we talking about? Find out now on Theme Park Thursday with Dillos Diz.
Now is the time.
Forever? Tangent. Old.
Halt.
Hashtag always MGM.
You are approaching the unloading
Everybody
area.
calm down. AK haters.
But what if it
Behold
could?
the
Disney
majesty of the
breeze.
Sistine Ceiling.
For the kids.
A salute to all theme parks, but mostly Walt Disney World.
What a cute ending.
Aloha and
Don't Dillo it.
This is Theme Park Thursday with Dillo's Diz. She is Jen.
Hello.
And I am Frank, and for this Theme Park Thursday recording, we're at dillosdizresort.com with our resort guests. I like to think that everyone is just sheltering in place after this blizzard, even though everyone is in all different parts of the country, nay, the world at this point.
Yeah. I think it's only us and Lexi. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all. We're just in it.
It's just in it. We had a blizzard here, which is started, I don't know, 24 hours after I returned from Florida. I was very delighted by that whole thing.
That's rough. I see your Florida tea that you're
Yeah,
representing.
but it's an
here.
old Florida
Yeah.
tea. But I'm
Just-
feeling nostalgia of
Yeah.
Florida in the spring and spring training and the whole thing.
Yeah, I feel like me going in January, I returned to -12 temperatures, and then you returned from your glorious Florida weather trip to a blizzard.
This is
It's
why we
not
don't
okay.
have dates for the meetup. I mean, let's just be real.
Yeah, that's why.
That's the reason. We just don't want bad weather to happen to us.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was no theme parks involved in my trip to Florida. There was the beach,
hmm
and there was a visit to Met Spring Training a mere 2 months after I was the angriest I've ever been at my baseball team in years.
How did you handle the anger being at spring training?
Now I was like, it's sunny. I didn't have to pay for parking. They're letting us into the stadium. I can watch practice. The palm trees have a slight breeze. It's glorious.
Yeah. There's baseball in warm weather. I'm in.
I'm just
I don't
sorry.
care. I don't care who's on the field.
I don't want to go home. It's only Tuesday.
It's over. It's basically over. This whole trip's over.
It's the worst. And I'm just going to say that there is that it's just, I don't know if it's post 50. I don't know if I want to blame the Find Frank for 50 trip from, 16 months ago. But I feel like
Right.
ever since that trip, pretty much every vacation that has been theme park or Disney related, or or Florida related, I guess, right? I've just been like angry about coming home. Like, so I'm going to say like Disneyland, the meetup last year, my spring training trip I took last March, this trip, the meetup, like I just, I don't want to come back to New York. That's it. I just want
I
warm
think
weather.
it's us getting older and going, oh, this is why people snowbird. This is what it is, because it's just so glorious during the winter months where you can get away, you can enjoy the sunshine, you can enjoy the breezes, you can look at the sunset and just look at the sky,
Yeah.
and you just breathe it all in, and it's so good.
No, it's like, why? When am I? It's very conflicting to go. When am I retiring? I don't want to get older. Like what? Like when? So
Can I do both those things? Like, can I not get older but also retire?
can I
Can I
no,
do-
and the answer to that is no.
Yeah, sure.
And-
And you were basically hanging out in Mr. Snidillo's, hometown.
Yeah.
Which is very crazy and weird.
Yeah. So,
but-
and it was, and it's a very nice place, and it's a very nice area. Like I said, almost last year when I was in spring training land down there last year, I just don't mind going up and down that 95 corridor between Port St. Lucie and Fort Lauderdale. It's just back and forth. But I was like, I'll do this all day, every day.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
So, yeah, no theme parks involved on that trip to Florida, but it's 75 and sunny for most of the days. Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
And now,
Lexi wants to know if you're blaming the meetup for your angry eyes.
blaming the
Is that what you're saying?
What? do I for my angry eyes just in life? I don't. I'm just trying to work
Like,
on.
which angry eyes
Yeah, just
specifically?
trying to work on having less angry eyes.
Mm-hmm,
So,
mm-hmm.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's not working.
yeah,
I don't have to live in Antarctica, but also I need seasons. So this is also the problem, right? It's
yeah.
also you go to Florida in the middle of February
Uh-huh.
when there is no humidity
Yeah,
and it lulls you into something like it's like messing with your mind. Like
yeah.
it's not like this all the time. And it's like, no, you idiot. You lived there for 4.5 years from April 1st until, well, when was the meetup? Like November 5th and 6th when it was still
Uh-huh.
85 and humid. Like, no,
Hmm.
that's reality of living in
Yeah,
Florida.
yeah.
Not
Oh, yeah.
this no humidity, nice February weather.
No, these are the tricky months. These are the months that get you. That they go, see how it could be. This could be your life. I think one of the most surprising things for me during the last meetup was learning how Jeffers doesn't like cold weather. Like
Mm,
he doesn't, and I'm like, but I don't. But you live in Canada, where like all of this that we've experienced this winter, because this winter has been absolutely insane for us, where
disgusting.
it's just either cold or it's snowing or both, and more so than any other. There have been so many winters that are either mild or at least you get some 50-degree days, some 40-degree, whatever. We didn't have that this year.
No,
And so, you know, to me, this winter is probably just what Canada is like all the time. I don't know. And during the winter. And so I'm like, why, how? And how, I don't know.
no, you know this. I love upstate New York.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, whether I'm in Saratoga Springs or I'm up at the Renaissance Festival up by Lake Ontario, I love and it's also like false sense of security, like the
Yeah.
weather in the summer and it's like great,
Yeah.
but then like when I was up there and it was 0 degrees with an ice storm
Hmm.
over the holidays, I was like, what? No, this is the reality.
Yeah.
Like this is why I
Yeah.
don't live up here.
Right. Yeah.
But you can't win.
Anyway, enough about why we don't live in Florida. We haven't even gotten into why we don't live in Florida, but enough about that.
This is a very hashtag always MGM episode where we're going to talk about, I think in the second half, but I have a feeling it'll be the final 15 minutes, the closing of Rock and Roller Coaster as we know it, starring Aerosmith,
Uh-huh.
and because on March 1st is the last day of operations, and March 1st is this weekend, by the way. What?
What?
What is time?
What, on Sunday? When is
Sunday.
March
Sunday
1st?
is March 1st.
Sunday.
What's happening? And but it's Monday, and earlier today we learned a lot of information about what is happening in the animation courtyard at hashtag always MGM.
Mhm.
Little by little, piece by piece, they've been trying to put Humpty Dumpty in that area back together again.
Yeah.
Some things we're okay with, like the reopened Minute Maid, Voyage of the Little
Yeah.
Mermaid, the stage show
Sure.
over there. Some things we're very angry about. They knocked down the archway that leads you into that area. Angry about that. But in the overall, this kind of transformation that the area is undergoing
Mhm.
is, I think, going in a positive direction. But they released a lot more details on this Monday that I thought was worthy of discussion since I spent a lot of time in the animation courtyard during my early days as a cast member at
Mhm.
hashtag always MGM. So, Jen, did you read all the news on it today? I'm going to peruse the Disney Parks blog article here while I
I
get your
didn't really,
response.
so
Yeah.
feel free to tell me things that I've never heard before. But um, I worry because aside from the arches being gone, the just one arch being gone, which I'm not happy about, and I'll never forgive them for. Um, I am not Dilloing my expectations enough for the area, and
Mm,
I worry that maybe I should just because that's a great way to protect oneself is to Dillo things,
hmm
and I feel like I'm not Dilloing. I'm like, "Oh, I think this is gonna be good," and then I go, "Oh, well, maybe I shouldn't feel like that. Maybe I shouldn't think those things."
Yeah, I mean, I feel like there's been a little bit of that just in general. Like I watched the Mandalorian and Grogu trailer last week,
Mhm.
and I was like, I'm not diluting these expectations. What's going on right now?
Yeah. Mhm.
Like I went to Limit Spring Training. I was like, I should be diluting the expectations. because they hurt me so bad over the last 12 months. But I'm not. I'm just happy, happy, happy to sit in a baseball stadium, and watch like I said. Anyway, so here's the beginning of the article here, where Walt Disney Animation Studios in Burbank, California, is a place of pure magic. Artists go in, beloved characters and films come out. The 10-year-old was just watching over this snow day here the Frozen 2 6-part documentary that's on Disney Plus that we've watched at least 3 times from beginning to end now. It's one of our favorites. It's a great representation of the creative process, I think, especially when it comes to Disney movies. Check it out. But it's funny that I'm reading this while I'm watching them at the studios in this documentary the last couple of days. That was the heart and premise of the Emmy Award-winning short film Once Upon a Studio, and soon it will inspire a brand new experience at Disney's Hollywood Studios. Housed in a building reminiscent of the iconic Roy E. Disney Animation Building. I mean, let's stop. Time out. You just had the Star Wars Museum launch bay sign, and again, we call it the Star Wars Museum because we heard a cast member call it that to guests. Okay,
It's on us.
but the
We
launch
didn't do it.
it was a, I love that they call it. It is a building reminiscent. Okay, it was the launch bay, and you're putting a sorcerer's hat on there now. I get it. Okay, this upcoming family experience, the magic of Disney animation, is getting ready to bring the wonder of animation to life like never before. And here we go. New adventures under the sorcerer hat. I'm going to stop right here. As we know, the sorcerer's hat is a long-standing tradition at #AlwaysMGM. We first, the second year of the park's opening in 1990 was the 50th anniversary of Fantasia. So there was a lot happening with the sorcerer's hat. You had Mickey on the Great Movie Ride. You had inflatable Mickey on top of the theater at the end of the Sorcery in the Sky fireworks, which of course that inflatable prompted everyone to have inflatables on their front lawn at every holiday possible. Just so you know, in case you're wondering where did all these inflatables come from, it's from that Sorcerer's Mickey in Sorcery in the Sky back in 1990. I'm just saying,
Obviously.
clearly, and. So with that, we then got, several years later, this sorcerer's hat that then blocked the theater. And people thought it was going to be like a year to celebrate Walt's birthday or something like that, whatever it was for. And then it was there for like 13 years that this sorcerer's hat was at the park. And everyone either loved the sorcerer's hat, or if you were like Jen and I, you despised that this hat still existed, and you blame it for closing down the Great Movie Ride because no one even knew there was an attraction there anymore.
Facts.
And then it went away, and the order returned to the universe. But now it's going to be here in the animation courtyard with the whole magic of Disney animation experience. I will say I'm happy that we're getting the Sorcerer's Hat back. Why? Because I'm going all the way back to that second year of operation where Fantasia was a big deal. I think the hat should have existed, just not where it was placed for 13 years there in front of the theater. Jen, how are you feeling about the Sorcerer's Hat returning to the park?
I mean, it's fine because of where it is. It's not blocking anything. It doesn't appear in the images that it's going to be a monstrosity in the park. So I'm okay with what it's got. I don't hate Fantasia. I don't hate the hat. I'm not anti that. I was anti what they did. It was, to me, it was the same thing as the castle being a cake. It was all the same. And so I just didn't appreciate it, but I don't mind that they're putting it here. I see Lexi questioning. I think she's talking about the Star Wars Museum. She thought it was a Dillos malaprop. Now, maybe we had jokingly said it. I don't know. We would have to go back and really fact check ourselves to see if we said it and then had joked about it or something, and it's like a Star Wars museum in there. And then the cast members said it. I mean, that could be.
That's
That
true.
could be.
It could be that the cast member
So I
picked it
don't
up
know.
from us. It's possible.
Sure. But maybe the cast member was listening. We would never know because we're not going to tell them that we have a podcast when we walk past them. But so, but I'm fine with the sorcerer's hat being in this new location.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing, and again,
Yeah.
it taps. I like to think it's a representation of the days of yore at #GoAsMGM.
Lexi,
Yes.
the hat is not replacing the arch.
No.
The hat is going on the building on the museum on the
Yeah.
launch bay, and so that is not the same. I'm just angry about the arch being gone as a standalone thing. But I guess you could say that it's kind of replacing because that's where your eye is going to go. I get it, but no, I don't know.
No, I wouldn't call it a
Don't try to
replacement.
rile me up, Lexi. Don't be an
No.
instigator.
I still would argue that the art should still be there so that you would walk into this
Yeah.
experience.
Yes. I don't understand why. I don't understand.
Um, Moving on. Our youngest, remember, we're talking about the closing of Aerosmith.
We're getting there. We're getting there, everybody.
Our youngest animators to be can explore the Drawn to Wonderland playground filled with an oversized flower garden with musical instruments, a mad tea party playset, and a Tulgey Wood exploration area. I don't know what a Tulgey Wood is. All inspired by the original Alice in Wonderland concept art from Disney legend Mary Blair. Okay, so is this in the outdoor portion? This is stuff that I don't think I've seen in concept yet, but there's so much outdoor space there.
Right.
I'm thinking that's where it's going to be. I'm Here's, I just want to mention a couple of things. They have a lovely Alice in Wonderland set up in Disneyland Paris that I always wished would be like by around the teacups at the Magic Kingdom. I'm happy to see Alice in Wonderland get something here, but I still want more at the Magic Kingdom, and I'm just saying that out loud.
Yeah, no, I get that. I get that. And it is hard to like picture some of the things they talk about or some of the things I see pop up about this whole area of like, I'm just gonna need to see it. I'm gonna need to see it in action.
Not until I'm there will I be able to judge. So yeah, the Walt Disney Studios lot comes to life at Hollywood Studios. The pixie dusting from the Sorcerer's Hat will extend far beyond the walls of the magic of Disney animation as the entire courtyard is reimagined into the Walt Disney Studios. This special nod to the Walt Disney Studios lot includes our version of the Studio Theater, which will continue to house The Little Mermaid, a musical adventure, and over at the soundstage, you'll find a fresh Disney Junior show. Listen, as someone who worked in that area for many years, and when it was a restaurant and character dining, and then it became the Bear and the Big Blue House, and multiple things over the years. I'm really surprised, and I think this is merely only because there's the Club 33 connection over there, and the kitchen space is what I'm gonna guess. But I don't know why this building is still. I mean, it's the only thing I can think of, is because of the facilities behind the stage, and not like I don't. Do we what do we need a stage show? Just have more character meet and greets over there.
Yeah, I'm not because, and I have said many times before, as you are walking through these parks and different generations, and for the kids growing up on Disney Junior, when you go to Disney World, you're going to assume maybe you can see some of these characters. So I do think they need a place for them. And if this is going to be the place, part of me is almost like, I guess the Club 33 thing really gets in the way, but turn it back into a big restaurant where maybe there is like
Yeah.
a little bit of a show in the restaurant with Disney Junior characters. So you're getting like a character dining experience, but maybe they do a song every half hour or something, and they all go up on stage and get everyone clapping and
Right.
something.
And they, and again, this is when I was a cast member 10,000 years ago in the late 90s, and they moved character dining from the soundstage to Hollywood and Vine. Yes, I was still a cast member when that happened. the space is just there's a reason why, and I'm not even gonna go there about the food, but I think there's a reason why it is not held in the high regard as other character dining experiences.
Mhm.
That is because of the space.
Mhm.
It was crowbarred into that space, and I think it shows. You need the soundstage, Ohana, the Grand Floridian character dining, Cape May. They have space that
Mhm.
allows it to feel more than, and I think even Crystal Palace to a lesser extent. I guess there's a
Mhm.
lot of space there, but Hollywood and Vine doesn't have that, and so yeah, I agree that it probably could shift back the other way,
Mhm.
but it won't.
Yeah, and I don't hate the stage show
Right.
thing because I do think it's a good spot where you can go, you sit on the floor with the kids, they jump around and dance and sing and kind of
Yeah.
get some of that out. You're in an air-conditioned location
Yeah.
during the summer months. I don't hate it for those purposes of like you need some of those places around the parks. But it's like also figure it out. Disney, because I feel like you've also put this space through different iterations over the years, even over the last decade.
Mhm.
You've made changes. So it's like, can you just figure it out and like let's go with it?
Yeah, there's a lot of people eaters in this park, right? You got Mermaid, you got the stage,
Mhm.
you're gonna have the soundstage show, you're gonna have Frozen, you're gonna have Indiana Jones still.
Mhm.
There's a lot of places where people pile into to keep the lines down in other attractions. The Beauty and the Beast stage show.
Mhm.
There's so many places that people go to. The Villains show over in the back
Mhm.
corner. The list goes on,
Yeah.
and I think I get it again. Get all the little kids in that area, take a break from the heat, 100%.
Mhm.
But I for something that seems to be really transformative for that area, it's
Mhm.
hard for me to hear that, "Yeah, we're just gonna do another Disney Junior show here." I'm like, "Oh,
Yeah.
well, it's the
Mhm.
opportunity to revitalize that portion too."
Yeah. Yeah.
So, again, maybe the show will be awesome, and I won't say anything after that.
TBD.
So this is a unique one. The Explore Off the Page and Spot Favorite Friends. You'll also be able to venture into Off the Page, a stunning area where you can meet some of your favorite friends from Walt Disney Animation Studios stories while celebrating the artistry behind every frame. Each space offers incredible photo opportunities with some of your favorite characters. You can meet Mulan in the story department, posing in front of an oversized storyboard panel, or step into the layout department where Rapunzel waits in a setting inspired by the classic multi-plane camera. Together, these spaces highlight key stages of the animation process, each brought to life through character encounters. So that's Mulan in story, Rapunzel in layout, Chippendale in hand-drawn animation. Again, these are a good number of character experiences and
Mhm.
why they're not doing this in a soundstage. Donald and
Mhm.
Daisy in CG animation, Goofy in lighting, Stitch in effects. Now, and they're all going to be dressed, so to speak, in this get up, like almost in not fully formed. So that is, they like not with from what I understand that they're going to be like going through the process and not like what you see in the final version of animation. Do I make sense?
So, okay.
So
Okay.
Milan is in the
Mhm.
storyboard, so she's gonna look more like a sketch
Right.
than
Oh, interesting.
but,
Okay.
but
I mean, I think why I'm not Dilloing a lot of this area, and to Val's point as well of like what it used to be, I think I'm really hoping they can tap into the old school vibes of MGM a little bit, where you could see animators at work, where you could see some behind the scenes stuff, where you could see how movies are made. Like some of that, I'm just really hoping that that is felt in this area. And I mean, things like that are like, okay, well, that's cool. I hope that it's gonna be as cool as it sounds.
Yeah, I mean, well, and let's get to this last portion here, which is the big announcement of the day to learn to draw with Olaf.
Yeah.
Step into a new Animation Academy experience with Olaf Draws, where everyone's favorite snowman takes center stage as your cheerful host. With his signature warmth, optimism, and playful humor, Olaf invites guests of all ages to explore the art of character drawing. See, I would never leave. If
Uh-huh.
this was around, I would be in this area for the entirety of my vacation when I was 11 years old.
Yeah.
Brought to life as an all-new audio animatronics figure, Olaf welcomes you into a space inspired by one of his most memorable moments from once upon a studio, sitting at an animator's desk, joyfully discovering the art of drawing. Stepping into a reimagined animator studio with playful nods to Frozen, guests of all ages are invited to sit down and learn to draw. Young animators in the making can spark their creativity at sleigh-themed tables, while animator desk-style workstations invite kids at heart to feel as though they stepped right into the studio. So there's all this going on, and then each class they have features a different character inspired by timeless classics and modern favorites, giving you a unique reason to return again and again. We've been talking about this repeatability a lot.
Mhm.
Here we are. You may find yourself sketching Mickey Mouse with Dan Abraham. I'm not going to list everybody, but Minnie, Donald, Genie, Moana, Stitch, Olaf, Ursula, and Judy Hopps and Nick Wilde from Zootopia. So
Mhm.
those are in rotation
Mhm.
and all hosted by Olaf. So, to your point, Jen, it's not like you're sitting down with a in-person animator.
Mhm.
It is Olaf hosting and you kinda getting a video tutorial.
Mhm.
Thoughts?
And we were talking a little bit about this in the Discord earlier. Discord's associated with dillosdizresort.com,
The
by the
one
way.
channel one, not
One
to be
channel.
confused with Dillo's Pop.
No, which has many channels. Correct. But so okay, I am someone that, because of this podcast world we've been in for the last 8 years, I appreciate things at Animal Kingdom more,
Mhm,
like Nomad Lounge that I didn't even know was a thing until we started this podcast,
mhm.
and the animation experience where I didn't even realize there was a whole area
It was a
in
train
this.
that took you there.
Didn't even know. So I have come to really enjoy the animation experience. The kids have enjoyed it. So any of the family trips we've done, we've gone over there to try to do that. So, there's a part of me that's like, okay, well, if they're getting rid of it, because I know Bluey's, I think, going over there, and I
Mhm,
did hear that they were probably moving that, and I was like, oh, sure, it makes sense to be in this area. I can feel like that's not change for the sake of change.
mhm,
That makes sense to me. That's
mhm,
logical. And then if you go one step further and add in Olaf, I did, because you had mentioned people, there was some debate over it, like there is over every decision
mhm.
ever in life. And some people I saw were feeling like, oh, there's only these, I don't know how many rattled off, about
Yeah,
eight-ish
around there. Yeah.
experiences. So, oh, people can go through that really quick, and then why ever go back? And it's like, well, I don't know that you can actually go through that quick unless you're I don't know that you're spending I mean, you would at 11,
Mhm,
but I don't know that you're spending all your time
mhm,
there all day long. So I do think there's chances to go back. And also, if you enjoy it, you're gonna go back regardless. I think everybody loves Olaf.
mhm,
They got the Olaf animatronic over in Paris,
mhm.
right?
Yeah,
Paris?
Paris and yeah,
That
and
everyone's like, we want one of those." And it's
mhm,
like, well, here's something.
yeah,
I heard that Josh Gad put his voice behind all of this, so
mhm.
it's, legit Olaf. And so I do think it is one of those things that will still be a cool experience for adults and kids. I don't think this would be like a kids only thing. I think
Right.
this will still be fun for everyone. Will I miss like an actual animator and a live person? Sure, but again, maybe there'll be experiences in this area where you can interact with animators somehow, and we don't know.
Yeah, and Lexi's saying they have so many characters they can switch
Mhm.
between. Right, they're only starting out with this. This is the
Yeah.
starting point.
Yeah.
If people if they find out that the attendance on it drops real quick, or there's
Mhm.
some like everyone is saying, "Oh, I did it all. I'm never going back." Guess what? They have hundreds of characters to choose from.
Mhm. Yep.
So, correct. I think think that the repeatability, Olaf is huge. Olaf brings all the kids in.
Mm-hmm.
You can put Olaf anywhere, and the kids are gonna want to go. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna put it
Mm-hmm.
on. You're gonna have it on. They're gonna turn on their hotel TV there this summer, and Olaf is gonna be there hosting this thing, and all the kids are
Mm-hmm.
gonna go, "I want to go see Olaf." That's what's
Yeah.
gonna happen.
Yeah. And it's another location where you can go sit and chill out for a little bit and draw.
Yeah.
And just honestly, just have a minute in Disney. And I think that was probably the coolest thing for me going to the animation experience in Animal Kingdom. You're in this nice, good air conditioned spot. You got almost a free souvenir with this paper and the pencil where you can draw your own thing to take home. And it felt for me old school Disney, where it's just chill.
Mhm.
There's no bells and whistles. It's nothing too crazy. You're just drawing a character and you're all there in this shared experience together, drawing together. And it's a very cool thing that's not a ride. It's not a go, go, go. It's not anything like that. So I get, and they're enhancing it a bit with Olaf, but I do think it'll be fun for kids of all ages.
Yeah. Lewis is suggesting that we all need to experience this together.
Mm-hmm.
Is it on a meetup of some kind, I guess, is what he's
When will
suggesting.
when will all of this be open? All of it be done?
They're saying this summer of 2026.
I mean,
So
all right, we could do that.
it's possible for you to meet up.
Maybe.
It's a mere suggestion. I don't know. It's something to talk about. Once we know if there's going to be a meetup, we can bring it to our attention. So yeah, and then you're going to have the theater space available to watch the documentary,
Mhm.
obviously, which is a
Right.
fantastic documentary.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen it, Once Upon a Studio over on the Disney Plus. There, the Emmy award winning, right? It won an Emmy, I believe.
Mhm. Yeah.
So make sure you check it out. But yeah, I think in general, there's a lot of reasons to, it's a good use of the space.
Yes.
So, it's looking back to move forward. So I think it's a good
Yeah.
reboot. And we years ago on the podcast, it seemed like there was a natural progression. When Toy Story Land and Galaxy's Edge were both opening, which is right around when we started the podcast, it seemed like, all right, this is the direction these areas are going to go in. And I always thought the courtyard would go away for more Pixar stuff, like Save Monstropolis. But so it seems it's both weird and cool at the same time to
Yeah.
me that they're kind of leaning in with the animation here.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, Jen, we're gonna pivot
Have that.
to the closing of Rock and Roller Coaster, starring Aerosmith. Now it's transitioning to Rock and Roller Coaster starring the Muppets.
Mhm.
As we talked about on our previous episode about the Muppet Show, and but I want to start at the very good beginning, a very good place to start.
Mhm.
What first experiences you had with Aerosmith as a band?
Oh, nice. Because I was gonna say, what is your favorite Aerosmith
Yeah.
video? Can we go there? I mean, for me, Aerosmith is very. First of all, the thing that pops in my head, I was going to start somewhere else, but the thing that continues to pop in my head is one that is not talked about enough, and that is "Hole in My Soul."
Oh,
And that is "Hole in My Soul," the song and the video.
mm.
First of all, the girl in the video, she had this short blonde hair bob, and I was like, I want her hair.
Oh,
And I remember feeling like that.
interesting. I did not.
I don't
This
know
is
why.
brand new information. I don't think I've heard this before, but here we go.
I was like, her hair is so cute. I want that hair.
Okay.
But I'm not
Have you ever
blonde.
had a bob? What's the shortest your hair has ever been?
It's been here-ish.
Yeah.
I've had a bobbish. I've had a bob, but I haven't been blonde. I have been strawberry blondish in high school. Thanks
Sun-in
to
doesn't
Sun-in.
count. Yeah.
Ah, God. And it's probably because I was trying to achieve this girl's hair and Britney in the sometimes I run, sometimes I cry,
Oh,
sometimes that
so,
color hair. So I was trying to go for that, I'm sure, but that was not successful. We're getting off track. So Aerosmith, Hole in My Soul, obviously.
do
But
you know who the girl in who the girl in Hole? Because I was like, I don't
yes,
know if I know
but
that video. It's Eva Mendes.
it's Eva Mendes in it? No. Yeah?
That's what it says.
I feel like I learned who it was later on going, oh my God, I can't believe that was her. But I didn't.
That's what the Wikipedia says anyway. Oh, unless Alexandra Holden, who is the classmate. So now we'll have to get that confirmed.
Now I'm going to have to do a deep dive on it later to find
she's the blonde? Is she blonde?
Yeah.
I think it's Alexandra Holden.
Okay.
All right.
Anyway, but obviously, the video with Liv Tyler and Alicia Silverstone, and why my Hole in My Soul is now just playing in my head. So now I can't think of this other video.
Sure. I mean, because Aerosmith for me, right, was briefly in the 80s. They had a pretty popular hit called Angel that I remember, and had like a weird music video too.
Yes.
So that was like my first oh, that's a pretty good song. But I didn't know anything else. It didn't go back to Dream On or anything like that. I know their own stuff. And then, but the album we're talking about is oh my God, Eat the Rich. Is that what it's called? I have that song in my head because our friend over on the X Twitter, Santina, mentioned that song to me.
Oh, okay.
But it's called something else. I'm gonna have to look up the album now. I can't think of the name. But basically, it had a trilogy of songs, right? Like it just had amazing singles on it in 1993, which was "Living on the Edge," which was "Crying."
Crying
With Alicia Silverstone.
Yes.
That was that video, right? And then she did another one called Amazing, right? It was Crying and Amazing.
Oh, yeah.
The blink of an eye, you finally see the light. And I feel like there's one more song that was really big on that album.
I'm going to the albums.
And I want to say it's like, what is it? Like I see like the cow pattern on the album. I can't. This is why we don't do research before the.
We should really come prepared.
1993 Aerosmith album. I looked it up last week to be prepared, and I still forgot the album. 1993 Aerosmith. Get a Grip is what it's called.
Okay.
So, it Crying, Crazy, Amazing, and Living on the Edge is basically like those. And again, there's the cow right there. Is what,
Right.
So those 4 songs are all amazing. And yes, the music videos with Alicia Silverstone, very good. And obviously made her a megastar there before Clueless hit.
Yeah.
And
what about when we tried to meet her 3 times at 90s Con and it did not work out?
Every time, right? That's like the biggest one that we biffed at 90s Con that we cannot figure out. And 90s Con happening this year. I need to check on a few things about that. 90s Con got moved from March to October this year. For those of you who don't know.
Yeah.
2 hours after I bought the tickets.
They got me with Freddie, and then they were like, "Just kidding."
Just kidding. He's the one that canceled everything. You know it. You know that's what happened. It's Freddie's fault. #blame Freddie.
#blame Freddie. Oh, Freddie.
But those, and then then the Armageddon song became huge later in the 90s.
Yes, of course.
But I had seen Steven Tyler at the Soundstage Restaurant, of all places, at Character Dining, back when Jeannie and Jafar and Quasimodo and all your Miko, the raccoon from Pocahontas, were all.
I just found a picture with him.
Jen's going to now have to post a picture of her and Miko the raccoon. There's a couple of pictures that have raccoon affiliations.
Which now everyone's blaming me for your hatred of raccoons. It's great.
That's not why. And if you don't know, sometimes I think we only can tell stories one time on the podcast and never retell them. But, the story, there's 2 stories why I hate raccoons quickly. One is I was going to watch a Mike Tyson fight at my friend's house, pay-per-view fight. And we have to cross through a dead end in our neighborhood to get from one portion of the village to the other portion of the terrace. And
that's giving away too much information.
and there was a raccoon on the corner, and I was like, "Well, there's a raccoon. Let me walk around." And this raccoon started following me, and as I picked up my pace, the raccoon picked up its pace, and then I had to sprint to my friend's house because this raccoon was galloping after me. Story number one. Story number two: moving out of one of my Orlando apartments, we pulled up to the dumpster. I was already terrified of raccoons at this point. There was a raccoon at the foot of the dumpster doing its raccoon thing, and I was like, I'm not getting out of the car to throw our stuff out because of the raccoon. And my roommate was like, "Get out of here. Get out of here." Jack,
Really see that.
Jack told
Really
me to
see
get
that.
out of here. And I was like, "No, I'm not getting out of the car." And he's like, "Turn on your brights and scare off the raccoon and honk your horn." So I turn on the brights and honk the horn, and the raccoon stands up on its hind legs and like shows its claws and its teeth. And my roommate goes, "All right, let's go somewhere else." And that was it. Those are the two stories. But Jen has a picture with Miko, the raccoon.
That's
Oh, there it
okay,
is.
go. Sneak peek
Yeah,
for
there it
everybody.
is. We'll post that up into places.
Yeah.
Miko. Good old Miko.
Mhm.
So what was my point with all of this? We were at the soundstage. Oh, that's where Steven Tyler was. And
Right.
little did I know, I think at that point that was all part of like the early stages of Rock and Roller Coaster getting built.
Mhm.
Because what they were also doing was closing down where we used to clock in at #AlwaysMGM, and where costuming was, and where the locker rooms were, all in that area. And pretty much how I ended up with my coat, I think, is because that place closed down. Honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, um, and moved it to the opposite side of the park because that is where Rock and Roller Coaster was then built.
Mhm.
Um, so
Um,
I think that, for you, I know it's not one of your favorite rides, Jen. How
no,
many times do you think you have been on Rock and Roller Coaster total?
too many. I don't know.
Eh,
But I honestly don't know. Maybe it's a handful. It's definitely less than 10 if it's more than a handful. I don't know. I've never liked it. I, if you don't know me, I don't like big rides. I'm not scared of them. I just don't like them. But sometimes I'm scared of them, but I don't like them. So this ride in particular, this is and there's arguments over whether they're corkscrews or upside down things on this ride, whatever. This is the only
Inversions.
ride that I have experienced that on. But I hated every moment. As soon as I sit in that seat, and anytime I went on, it's got to be less than a handful. I don't know. But anytime I went, I've probably blacked out on a lot of them. And the harness came down. I immediately felt regret. Like, why did I do this? I don't want to do this. And I hold on, and my nails dig into my hands. And that initial launch, which is every roller coaster person fan's dream, is my nightmare. I'm like, I hate that I did this. When is it over? Um, Now, if you ask me what was on the ride, I now know because of TikTok, because I've seen some things,
Mhm.
but I never opened my eyes. So I have no idea what was on the ride. So now, I can put that aside and go, can I recognize that it was very exciting to have this type of ride in the parks because this was like the biggest roller coaster Disney had. Disney didn't
Mhm.
do really crazy type roller coasters before. So this was very big and very exciting for so many people. Having Aerosmith involved is very cool. And again, back in the day, lent itself to the like Hollywood and rock and roll and all of this kind
Mhm.
of feel. So it worked. And I can recognize those things while going, I'm good with, and just never being on it ever again. Wait, but can we also go back? Because
Mhm.
Lexi was saying, Frank, you're actually an X-Man with raccoon powers,
Mm.
but you've run away from your destiny too many times with a
Oh,
sad face.
mm.
And Ryan was saying Frank could have been Rocket. So there's that.
Could have been. Coulda, shoulda.
Coulda, shoulda.
I
Yeah,
once, and I once showed Bradley Cooper where the Dunkin' was for around 7th Avenue one time.
exactly.
So
So
during this
full circle.
full circle moment, right there.
Yeah.
Strangest. Again, I have several celebrity encounters where I don't realize it's them until they've passed me. And so
Mhm.
where I'm holding the Dunkin' cup one morning and Bradley Cooper is clearly staying at the hotel around the corner. And he's like, "Oh, hey, where's the Dunkin'?" And I point out the Dunkin'. He's like, "All right, thanks, man." And he walks by and I go, "That was Bradley Cooper." Because he was doing a
Mhm.
show. And
Uh-huh.
I was like, "Oh, come on."
Yeah. A side tangent to that tangent. Our friend Theme Park Rob was in town recently,
Mhm.
and his daughter Maddie had been asking me some New York type questions, including, "Have you seen celebrities?" And I go, "Yeah." And a lot of the times, I go, "Oh my god, you know who that was?" As
Mhm.
I pass
Yeah.
them, or there's been more of those times, or more of times I know that I've been in the same place or whatever. But yes, I've seen some, but those experiences of, oh my god. Oh my god. Did you just see who that was?
Yeah.
That wasn't them. Do you think it was them?
Yeah, Bradley
That's more.
Cooper and Katy Perry are my two biggest stars
Yes.
in that genre of. But Katy Perry's the better one because then I saw her later and she was like, "Yeah, you idiot, it was me."
Right.
Not she didn't say
It's
that. That
me.
was the look on her face, and that
What
I
if
am
she did?
projecting what she said.
What if she did?
What did
And
she
that would have
just
been a
say?
better
No.
story.
But I could hear Katy Perry's voice saying those words, so
Mhm. Mhm.
that's the story I tell myself.
Yeah.
Lewis is saying 2 loops and a corkscrew, 3 inversions total. Is the 2 loops technically like? And again, this is a Wikipedia thing. It's like they call it like a sea serpent. Is it a cobra roll? I don't know, but they're very quick. So they're not, to me, because this attraction opened in July, at the end of July 1999, which is 2 months after Islands of Adventure opened. So at that point, I was doing mostly
Mhm.
VIP tours, and going on these rides too many, going on Hulk and Dueling Dragons too many times. So to me, and I didn't go on a lot of Upside Down. I mean, it's not like we did. We did a Great Adventure, Six Flags Great Adventure. Did you go on Upside Down roller coasters or no?
Absolutely not. I literally, Rock and Roller Coaster is the only thing I have been
Ever?
on with any kind of inversion or anything. Yes, that's it.
um,
No, thank you. No, thank you.
No, and I've done like up before Rock and Roller Coaster and Hulk and Dueling Dragons. I mean, at Six Flags Great Adventure, they had something called the Great American Scream Machine. It
Mhm.
was the most terrifying thing I've ever went on in my life.
Yeah.
I just remember screaming and cursing the whole time on the ride,
Yeah.
and you know, but everyone else was going, so I had to. Um, and uh, so having done Hulk and Dueling Dragons so many times, this felt like, all right, I can do this. But to me, Hulk kind of has that big loop de loop
Mhm.
before it goes under the bridge on Marvel Superhero Island. So in comparison, the loops on the Rock and Roller Coaster never felt like true loops to me. So
Mhm. Did we go on it all together?
we must have, at least we've had to, right?
Yeah, I was wondering if maybe like when I moved down there, did we do it? Or maybe not.
Because this is the only one. This is the only upside down inversion situation that Papa Dillo has ever done too, which I find also shocking.
Yeah. I don't I don't feel like I went on with Papadillo.
You never went on with Papa Dillo, you don't think?
I don't know.
Let's just go.
I clearly have blocked it out with the mid 2000s,
Yeah, and
which is
so
probably some more times that I've been on in the mid 2000s. I don't know.
I mean that's fair. Most of the mid 2000s, yeah, that would knock out a lot of your rides probably.
Yeah.
But you've been on the Mummy. Does the Mummy have? The Mummy has an
Yeah.
inversion.
No.
Come on,
No, it's not. The Mummy ride?
I think the
No.
Mummy has no. Yeah, I think it does. Anyone
No.
can. How quickly does the Mummy coaster have an inversion? Are you sure?
It's barely a coaster. It's not a coaster coaster.
Oh, I see what you're saying, though.
Oh,
Yeah, because it's all like the 4 in a row. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, no.
Are you sure?
It's over before you
It does
even
not.
need
You're
heaven.
correct. It does not.
Yeah, exactly. No. No.
Uh, so that was, so at that point I felt Rock and Roller Coaster ended up being tame, and I remember the first time I went on, I went on during cast member preview because I was actually at the park not to work or not to visit, but I was actually at an audition that morning on one of the sound stages, which is very
Oh.
funny. As I had an
Mhm.
audition for, and I don't know if it was local or what, but it was for an NFL uh show,
Mhm.
preview show or something like that. That was gonna be weekly. It wasn't like, the one of the bigger like NFL on Fox or anything. It was nothing like that. But it was something that was NFL related. I had to like talk about my football knowledge. I had to read something off a teleprompter, which I had never done in my life at that point. And pretty much knew that I wasn't going to get it based on, I was like, I'm not enough of a football fan for this. What am I doing? But it
Mhm.
was an audition and you go. And that was 2 months after my debacle of an ESPN club audition.
Mm.
So I was
Mhm.
definitely like, this is just get me out of this state at this point. And so then after, because I got to park over there because I had the audition, so it was a rare
Mhm.
time that I got to park on that side at that point, and went on Rock and Roller Coaster after that. So my first experience was that it was tame because I found the Hulk to be more intense with its launch and with its inversions.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
you never done Hulk.
No. First of all, again, I haven't been to Universal since
If-
the mid-2000s, and that's the last time I went. That was Halloween Horror Night. I don't even know if I went on rides that night. I have no idea what happened that night at all. And so, even before that, anytime I've been to Universal, I feel like I had gone with you that time when we went on the Mummy. There was a time I went with my friend and felt like I was gonna pass out.
Mhm,
There was a time I hit my head. I don't
mhm.
know, there's a lot of things that have happened to me at Universal, but I have not been now in, like, 20 years. So, um, I definitely but I wouldn't have gone on then either. Like, I probably by that time or around that same time went on Rock and Roller Coaster and was like, "This is it. This is all I'm doing. I hate this."
When you
No.
and I went, because that was like before you in mid 2000s. So when you and I rode the Mummy, right?
Mhm.
I think that was the summer you interned before you
Yeah, I
worked
think that's
there.
when we drove down to, like, move me down for the summer.
Did did somebody get us in? One, do we
Mhm.
three options. Did we A did someone comp us in? B,
Mhm.
did we pay for tickets? Or C, did we do something illegally?
I feel like it was A or C. There's a part of me that thinks it may have been C, but we are Dillos and we follow rules, so that couldn't have been it. But there may have been maybe there was an A and C combo of something, some
Yeah,
kind?
it might, I mean, 'cause I know there was
We did not pay for tickets. I know that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I agree. So, it's hard. It was yeah, I don't wanna say too
Unless we
much,
were
but there was a
like
good period of time. I had my ID for a long time. The ID
right.
was good for a long time. Um, yeah.
Um, I feel like it could have been possible that knowing that I was gonna be working down there, did we maybe offer a trade of some sort
Maybe.
with getting people in? I don't know. That doesn't feel right either, though, so
Yeah.
I don't know what happened.
Yeah. I see something, there's one time that I, went to Islands of Adventure, I recall, and
Mhm,
there's one time the time I'm thinking of the main park, like, I know what to do. I knew what to
mhm,
do back then, and I'm trying
right.
to think if what I'm picturing was with you or was it just, like, on my own?
I
Um,
almost feel like that was with all of us,
yeah.
but I don't know.
No, I don't no, I think there's
Okay.
no, well, yeah, mm.
I don't know because I do recall you talking about that at one point.
But I probably had a lot. When I worked there, I had a lot of comps, so
Mhm,
I think I probably was legally doing things when I was working there.
mhm.
After
This is now 4 years later
yeah, the summer of
when we went.
2004, after I
Right,
moved back in January of 2000. This
correct.
is why the mid-2000s are a blur, everyone. You're
In the
experiencing it in real time right
2000s.
here.
Sometimes I think about the mid-2000 time frame, and I'm like, should we be calling it more the early 2000s? But it wasn't like early,
Yeah.
early 2000s. It's
No,
more
because
mid.
my blur goes all the way to '09.
Your
So
blur goes longer than my
yeah,
blur goes,
yeah.
so.
my blur is actually just the 2000s.
Like the aughts? Is that
The
the
aughts. Yeah, I
aughts?
should just call it the aughts, right?
Interesting.
Yeah. Lexi is claiming that even though we won't admit it, we're secretly rule breakers, sneakily.
Absolutely not,
How
Lexi. How dare you?
dare you suggest such things?
No.
And I'm just gonna say the biggest rule follower of them all is Papa Dillo.
Uh-huh.
Anyway,
Anywho, what were we
anywho,
talking about?
deserves anywho.
the rock and roller coaster.
Yes.
Right.
So the launch you hated.
Yeah, I hated the whole thing. But again, I can put that over here and I could recognize that it was a very exciting thing for roller coaster fans and it was an exciting time for Disney to have a bigger ride and it was very cool to have Aerosmith. I can recognize all of those things.
In the 6 years that this attraction, 27 years that this attraction has been open, obviously things change when you age this much, in the entirety that this ride has been around. So I know that for a good chunk of time, I struggled with how I felt coming off of this ride. And, and all of that has to do with hydration. And the more I hydrated before on the attraction, the better I did on the attraction. But I feel like probably starting in the later 2000s, in the later aughts through, I want to say when I went on with Justin and Landon, maybe after Galaxy's Edge opening, that because we were up early, so I just had to keep drinking water all day. That was when I was like, oh, that was the first time I was like, if I'm hydrating, I can withstand this attraction. But it is a challenge. And I don't know if it's because I don't know if it's a launch or if it's just how my head feels because of the way it twists you.
Yeah. Has the 10-year-old been on it?
No, not yet. No. So she'll go on with the Muppets. She'll like it better anyway.
Yeah.
So, and because she's tall enough to ride the Velocicoaster now, get ready.
I will not be ready for that.
Because have you watched? Because this immediately goes into Velocicoaster talk. Have you watched the video? You've watched the video with the Velocicoaster launch, right? At some point, yeah. Have you watched the video with the Hagrid's cycle launch?
I don't know if I have.
Because right, what else?
I
we
probably
talking about?
have.
Yeah,
I've probably seen it on.
because we now know how you are with the Tron launch.
Oh God, we were talking about this in this house the other day, and how I just really did not expect the reaction I gave myself on this ride. It's not what even outside the ride looking at it going, that's not bad. That's not a bad ride. I don't know what happened. And so because we were talking about whether or not I would go on it again ever. And I said, if I went on it, because we were talking about rides I wouldn't go on. Oh, because we were talking about parkology and whether or not me and you would try to do it one time. I go, I'm already out. I'm out on Mission Space. I'm out. I'm not doing certain rides anymore.
Yeah.
And so, and then I think the 11-year-old said Tron. And I go, well, if I did Tron, I would sit in one of the seats, like a regular seat. I go, it has to be the fact that I was on that bike that threw me. Something threw me. And then the 9-year-old was like, yeah, but you sit on like that kind of thing on Flight of Passage. And I said, yeah, but it's not the same because you're like really moving fast. I don't know. But I was like, I don't know what got me, but I think if I did it, I would sit again.
Because that's my question is like, is it a launch that really gets you and not the inversions and not is it the idea of the launch?
I don't know.
We're never going to find out because you're never going to go on a coaster with inversions because you're just like inversions. I hate them.
Yeah, correct. I mean, I've never wanted to go on inversions ever. So especially like outdoor inversions, I just watch my life flash before my eyes because I'll just fall out and fall out. Anyway, probably the fact that also growing up, I had to sit next to Papa Dillo so he could hold me down so I wouldn't come out of my seat on everything. Like that doesn't make me feel secure when I'm going on big rides that are upside down. I don't feel like
Right.
I would probably be fine because physics, but I didn't take physics.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I mean, Hagrid's is going to be the one someday, I guess, that I want to,
Yeah.
and Velocicoaster, I'm willing to accept that you're not going to go on Velocicoaster. Hagrid's, though, because it's a bike that has a launch, but
Mm-hmm.
isn't necessarily with like great height or with
Mm-hmm.
inversions or
Yeah.
and Val's saying it's her favorite attractions of all time, one of her favorites of all time.
Yeah.
I feel like that would be the test, I think, to see if you can handle a launch.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. And then I think about our friend Lee over in the UK enjoys sending me TikToks of, just the craziest roller coasters you've ever seen in
Yeah.
your life from around the world.
Mm.
And they're just like, and then they just go down like that. And I'm like, why? Why is anyone doing this? I don't understand. Why would you? Why? But whatever brings you joy, you should do.
So they tried over the years to, add some different songs into the mix with Aerosmith,
I
but
didn't know that until recently. So,
well, and I didn't think I knew that either until this last time where we went on, thanks to Lexi, the instigator, to go on Rock and Roller Coaster at the Jollywood Nights, and I was like, well, she was like, it's gonna be the last time. I was like, oh,
mhm.
okay.
Yeah.
That it was a song. I was like, I don't think I know this Aerosmith song. So I guess for me, my question is, like, it was an attraction that was just there, right? It's a thrill ride. It gets by on the thrill, but could they have done more in sort of remixing the songs, the usage of
Yeah.
the songs, updating the songs in a way that, they could have used more of their library, so to
Mhm.
speak, because I feel like, they never have Living on the Edge
Mhm.
as one of the songs.
Right.
I'm like, what are we doing? That,
Yeah.
of course, it's one of my favorite songs of all time. It is a song that that was playing when I totaled my first car,
Mm.
and and but that whole album is great. So I think I know I wish I heard more Aerosmith songs over the years because I think I would have also went, you know what, I want to go on because I want to hear, maybe I'll try to get this song, kind of like how
Mhm.
people are with Guardians now.
Mhm. Yeah, and I'm sure by the time Guardians came out and people went so hard on what songs you get, what songs you get, I have to get all the songs. It was already too late for Rock and Roller Coaster, and they're like, "Well, we're not updating this now." But yeah, it could have been a really cool thing had they thought about doing that a little bit more. But I'm sure getting the rights to the songs and whatever, it's a big process, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'd be curious what that whole agreement was and what would go
Mhm.
into that. And Val's asking, first accident or first car?
Oh,
Both.
both?
The answer is both to my 1982 powder blue Monte Carlo.
Mhm.
It's we'll share that at the resort someday. That whole story.
We'll talk about that.
It's not inappropriate for this podcast. Um, and yeah, so I think that's just where I I feel like it lost some of its mojo. Yeah, I mean, is Aerosmith producing as much as they used to? No, they're obviously
Yeah.
not, going full albums anymore. But I do feel like going back 10, 15 years, they could have started dropping more songs into the
Mhm.
mix to
Yeah.
keep it to freshen things up a little bit, I guess.
Yeah. Could have put "Hole in My Soul" on there.
Could put hold of
Maybe
myself. I
that would
mean,
have gotten me back.
like that Dream On wasn't on. I mean, and again, you might be right now that you're saying it. If Dream On was on a different record label than whatever record label they moved, I feel like that's part of
Oh,
it too.
interesting.
Is thing.
Different catalogs.
Yeah, it could be. It could be the catalogs.
Mm.
I mean, it should.
Mhm.
There's things we could have researched.
Yeah.
Where's Mel
What?
Dale? I thought Mel Dale was coming on soon.
Yeah, maybe I'll have him listen to this episode
Yeah.
specifically and then fact check everything we're saying
Oh my
because
God.
there's probably a lot
I'm
of
so sorry,
non-truth.
Meldal, in advance.
um, yeah, same Val that she never heard anyone talk about different songs on Rockin' until a couple of months ago, and Lexi saying it's strange to hear there's so much talk for Guardians and not,
Right.
Rockin'. Yeah.
And especially that Aerosmith was like in peak popularity when the
Mhm.
attraction opened. You would have thought that was something people would have chased in the same way they
Yeah.
chase Guardians now. Now, granted, no social media, just the origins of the internet back
Mhm.
back then. A little AOL dial-up for your liking,
Yes.
but yeah, and the overall, it was time.
Mhm.
We'll see where it goes with the Muppets.
Mhm.
Obviously, we're all ready to hear Sabrina do "Man-Child" with the chickens. I think is really where where
That's all they have to do. Really, they can just start there and not put any other songs on it. It'll be fine. Everyone will be fine with that.
just singing and wanting to hear the chickens is
Yeah.
really where we're at.
I
Yeah, I'll be curious.
yeah, I would recommend, anyone listening to this podcast or watching the podcast
Mm,
after you do that to just go down the YouTube rabbit hole of Aerosmith videos because I've done that before.
mhm.
It's so good. It's so good to just go down the rabbit hole of all those videos.
I feel like towards the end of the podcast, we're now starting to say this following phrase. So I put into ChatGPT recently, they're just da 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 da. There's some da 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 da's about that. That I said, why can't MTV show music? Like, what happened? Well,
Yeah.
tell me the reasons.
Yeah.
And it came down to ad shares and
Mhm.
more people are watching the shows and so they can sell more for the ad space and yada yada yada, but also that um you know that more people are just watching music videos on YouTube. And I want to say, who are these people? Because I know it's out there. I know what has like 4 million views for a music
Mhm.
video, and that artists are still making music videos.
Mhm.
Like what? Like huh?
Yeah.
And then once in a while you hear of one that Taylor's recent one that
Mhm.
came out of the British
Yeah.
talk show that I'm totally blanking on right now.
Yeah.
But what's his name?
Oh, I almost said it and then I
Yeah.
was like, "Nope, that's not it."
What what's his
No.
name?
I
I can picture him like, "Oh, yeah, I can picture him. I can picture, the clips that come up all the time. What is his name?
I know, I
What
see.
is his name?" Right, but they're all in his music video in Taylor's, music video. So, they're still making the music videos.
Graham
Why? Yeah,
Graham Norton?
Graham Norton, you are correct. Um, so, and by the way, the best way is I'm so happy when my algorithm goes to all Graham Norton videos for
Mhm.
several reasons, but mostly because they're always really good clips.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, so Taylor's music video was like the most recent one. Like, so what's happening, but why aren't people talking about him more? Why aren't people more like putting the links on the social medias and things like that? I feel
Mhm.
like we don't get enough of that.
I would bet you have probably seen links to videos of going, "I'm not watching it here. Put it on MTV."
I
But
mean,
also MTV, you also stopped doing the shows too. I don't know. Do they still do the challenge? I think they still do the
I
challenge
don't know
maybe, but,
what they're
like,
doing.
there's that one guy who I feel like, anytime it's on JetBlue and you get the old TVs, so, like, you have to scroll through the channels and MTV is one of them,
Yeah.
and then you see and it's, like, this one guy, and I forget who it is, but he does, like, silly whatever videos, and it's, like, just his show all
Yeah.
and I'm like, "Why can't you bring back give me a whole I want the Beach House, I want some TRL, I
Hero,
want
yeah.
some old school Real Worlds and
Some
Road World.
Club
Give me
MTV?
all yes, come on, just put it all on there. You would have such an audience for that.
Do we need on Dillos Pop, the latest and greatest Discord of ours after
Yeah.
the one channel world renowned Dillos Diz Resort Discord?
Mhm.
On our Dillos Pop Discord, do we need an MTV/VH1
Ugh,
uh, channel where then
yeah.
we just drop links of music videos we think are awesome?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, let's do that.
We'll do that. And what was and then you had like Behind the Music
Oh, yeah.
and then like come on, but that was on VH1.
Yeah, well, like MTV Unplugged. Like, give me
Oh, yeah.
MTV Unplugged. Just bring that back.
So good.
It was like an event.
That's why as we're talking about Aerosmith videos and I'm thinking back to summers and hanging out in Mama and Papa Dillo's basement till like all hours of probably 4 a.m. or something and just watching music videos and like these are the videos that are in my head.
And so before we wrap things up here, the biggest miss that of the Aerosmith Rock and Roller Coaster that they could have done to make it really refreshed in only a couple of years after it opened
Uh-huh.
was to have one of the rides be to the Super Bowl halftime show with Britney and NSYNC, like and Missy, like what?
Sure.
I said the greatest We didn't talk about the greatest halftime show of all
We
time.
didn't.
We talked
Oh,
about how
we should
great Bad Bunny was, but and that halftime
We did
show
not
was.
talk about
But listen, Aerosmith and Britney and NSYNC and Missy.
Did you hear how Backstreet wants to go on and they want to bring everybody back? And I believe they do it. They would probably get New Kids in there too. If you had Backstreet Boys, New Kids, NSYNC, Britney, bring them all, put them all on the stage.
I mean, you do
That'd
a
be the
whole
greatest thing
TRL
ever.
halftime show.
Oh my goodness! Have Carson come out to intro
It
it.
is on NBC next year, but you get Carson's Mr. NBC.
I'm gonna
but-
tag him in this clip,
Oh
Carson.
no, it's not. It was on NBC this year. It's on ABC next year.
Oh,
Don't
that's
tag
right.
him.
It's very Disney-fied, right?
Yeah, it's very Disney-fied next year.
Never mind, Carson. I'm
But
not tagging you in
I
this
know you're
clip.
sad the Olympics are over, though.
I am. I enjoyed having it as like good, the Olympics. Let's see what's going on right now.
So farewell to Rock and Roller Coaster. Another goodbye here after
Another one bites the dust.
Another one bites the dust. But we'll see what the Muppets bring to the area. Maybe we will know more by the summer of maybe more Muppets are going that way.
Yeah.
Jen, is there anything else we needed to address at this time?
At some point, we have to address our next meetup. And there's so many of our resort guests here tonight, which I very much appreciate, and we love having you all here. Tonight's not the night where we'll be discussing that, but we do have to probably figure that out.
We do have 2 guests coming up in the next couple of weeks here on the podcast, so check that out along the way. But until next time, she's Jen and I'm Frank. Bye-bye.
Deuces! The Dillos Diz podcast is hosted by Frank Cardillo and Jen Cardillo Snyder. Music produced by Matt Harvey. Logos and video production courtesy of Snidillo Studios. Dillos Diz Resort is our Patreon with tiers starting as low as $1 per month. You can visit dillosdizresort.com to learn more. Follow us on TikTok, Instagram, X Twitter, and Facebook at DillosDiz. Check us out on YouTube by visiting youtube.com/DillosDiz. Don't forget to like and subscribe while you're there. We also have merch available on TeePublic and Etsy. For all this and more, visit our one-stop shop, dillosdiz.com. Dillos Diz Podcast 2025.